What, baby?
You circle my bed.
Snuggle you in your bed.
You circle me.
No, you gotta go tell Daddy.
No, did they circle me?
Go ask him. Or Addie will snuggle you. Okay.
No, not I circle me.
Not Addie, Daddy. Go ask Daddy. Get your babies. Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. How are you? So, warning. It's kind of off last week, I think. If you're on YouTube, will you just make sure, will you say something so I know that chat and tell me if you can hear me? That would be super helpful. Hi from Boston. How are you guys? So welcome to Online Steps to Success. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. We're here every Tuesday night, almost every Tuesday night, usually every Tuesday night. And I'm glad that you're here. I do have not a ton to talk about. I have something very specific to talk about tonight that I hope is exactly what you need to hear. But before we do that, I have to say a million thank yous. So, well, before I do that, let me introduce myself. If you're new and this is your first time, welcome to Online Steps to Success. Our goal with these trainings is to help you work smarter, make more money, and dream really big dreams with your business. And that's always our goal. And it's what we're passionate about. We believe that direct sales and Cincy in general specifically is a huge blessing in a way that you can make the big dreams you have in your life possible. And we want to help you do that. So that's why we're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. On top of that, did I say who I am? No, my name's Allison Dalkey. I've been with Cincy for over 10 years, coming up on 11 now. This is our full-time job, quote unquote, I guess. Please see the income disclosure statement. And we are passionate about helping other people find the freedom that they want in their lives through this business. So that's why we're here. On top of all of that, many of you know that I had surgery last Thursday, and it was the 4th surgery in a row of surgeries. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But I have to say a million thank yous because you guys have no idea how amazing it's been to be brought letters upon letters upon letters every single day. Gifts and flowers and movies. Oh, I'll kiss you. Come here. Let me kiss. Oh, I love you.
Oh, no trip. Okay, I don't have to hold your hand.
So these are just some of the cards from today alone. I haven't even opened them yet, and there's like piles and piles of. I have like a basket full of cards and letters from you guys. Flowers, Dorothy Thurman, Nicole Ferlin. Thank you for sending me the most beautiful flowers. I got presents. Some of you sent me DVDs. Some of you sent me stickers and washi tape. And what else did I get? A book. Like, y'all are amazing. Amazing. And it, like, seriously, you're too much. And I know that my husband collaborated and asked you to do that, but thank you so much. So I'm feeling better, but we're going to get started. So I had to say that. I had to say thank you. So really quickly, who this is for, if you are really working at taking your Cincy business to the next level, you're in the right place. That's what we're here to do. I want to push you. I want to help you be the best version of yourself, not only when it comes to your business, but when it comes to your life and your family and everything. Because I think I've said this a million times, but this business is very, very much a personal growth journey. It changes who you are, and that flows into all aspects of your life. That flows into your marriage, into your relationships, into your job as a wife and a mother, and all of the things. So it's kind of a full package deal. We're going to talk a little bit about the full package today. But tonight, we're going to talk about fear, because fear is a crappy, crappy thing that holds back so many of you. And I'm just going to warn you, tonight's going to be one of those tough love kind of nights, because in all honesty, when you get the tough love and when you get the like pure passion from me, it's because it's something that's like burning in me, something that I'm learning or growing through, and you're getting like the other half of it. So I'm just going to warn you that this is definitely tonight a little bit of tough love. I am going to do my best to keep it short because I am so tired. I'm still very tired. I had surgery last Thursday. Yesterday and today are like my first kind of full days on the road without, not on the road, but like up and around without a nap. So, but I kind of like wear out. But what I want to say is pretty straightforward, and so we're going to get right to it. So I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that this is helpful to you. Feel free to share with your team members. This is for anybody that wants to watch it. So first of all, I read something the other day that really just kind of where this started and got my mind like processing through this whole idea of why it is that fear stalls us out in our business and what we do to get over it. I saw this quote on Instagram the other day. It says, waiting for us on the other side of fear is our impact. And I'll tell you what, it kind of like caught me in the gut, like, whew, because I have been in this place lately where I know that there's a couple things that I need to do to up my game a little bit, not up my game, but just next steps that I know are next steps in my life and in my ministry and in my marriage and all of that. But those next steps are sometimes very, very scary. And I want to talk today about how I think sometimes all of us let fear completely stall out our businesses. And here's the thing. You might be thinking right now, I don't ever do that. That doesn't ever happen to me. I don't have an issue with fear. I want you to hear me out because I think sometimes we tell ourselves that we don't have an issue with fear when in reality we're letting fear rule. Now, here's something I want to tell you. This is just from, I am a Christian. I'm a Christ follower. I don't think I've ever made that a secret. I think I've talked about it openly. And this is not going to be about Jesus. But I want to, just something I've learned through my faith that I know to be true is that whenever you hear from the Holy Spirit or whenever you're prompted by God, it's never out of fear. And I used to think like those times when fear would overcome me, when I would be in a movie theater or when I would be about to do something that was very scary or like first time, that those promptings of fear, like, oh, then I must not, because I'm scared, that means I'm not supposed to do this. When in all actuality, it's the very complete opposite of that. When you're faced with fear and when you feel that tension of this is scary or I am physically scared of something, right? That is not a sign for you to stop moving. That is a sign for you to move forward. One of the biggest commandments is the biggest, like not the actual commandment, but the phrase spoken by God over his people more than any other is do not be afraid. Do not be afraid, fear not, be courageous, something along those lines. And yet so many of us we live in constant fear. And this may not have anything to do with your business. This may be something you needed to hear about your children, about your marriage, about the situation that you're in your life. Because I know that for me, there have been times when my personal life and the things I was dealing with anxiety and fear were stalling my business in very significant ways because I wasn't dealing with them. I was saying I wasn't scared, or I was saying that I didn't have any issues with fear. But what was actually happening was I was letting fear rule who I was. I was letting it tell me who I was. And I'm going to tell you right now that is not a place to live. And I truly believe that our impact, our influence, the thing that we're supposed to do in this world stands on the other side of the things that we're afraid of. I promise I'm going to make this relevant to your business in a minute, but it is. Here's the thing about this business in particular. It has so much to do with your life. It has this overflow. Most of you, so many of you are working part-time jobs, full-time jobs, you're full-time mamas. You have other things going on in your life, right? And you're trying to make your business fit into that. And what happens sometimes is we have these doubts and these anxieties and these little bitty voices inside that say, why are you even wasting your time? You're not that good at this. There's things that you can't do well. Other people do them better. What are you bothering? Why are you even bothering? Those are straight up lies. And fear is absolutely meant to control us. It's designed and meant to control the way that we act and the way that we react. Let me tell you something. When you live in a state of letting fear rule you, you will constantly be a step behind. And I don't want you to be a step behind. I want you to be a step ahead. How do we do that? How do we go from being anxious or fearful or worried about things outside of our control? It's by doing the thing that seems the scariest. It's by walking into the thing that seems like the thing we should turn away from. And often that means we step into the thing that we're scared the most of. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Some of you know a lot of my story. I've shared it very openly because it's part of my Scentsy story. It's just when you do this right and when you learn how to kind of take your life and take your business and meld the two together, you kind of can't help but just be an open book. Several years ago, I found out that I was a BRCA 1 and 2 mutation carrier. And what that means is that my risk for breast cancer and my risk for ovarian cancer were ridiculously high. Because I carry both mutations, which is very, very rare, my geneticist, who's one of the best in the country, really couldn't even tell me what my risk was. He said, well, I mean, we kind of figure right now it's the highest risk on the BRCA 1 side and the highest risk on the BRCA 2 side. We don't really know. So 2 years ago, first of all, that's a scary thing. I start hearing all these numbers and I meet with this geneticist and this counselor and all these things. And there's this fear that comes that tries to control how you're going to move forward. So do I live in fear? Do I live in fear of what if I develop breast cancer, or when I develop breast cancer, or what if I get ovarian cancer? And of course, I was on a high-risk screening program and all the things. But still, there was some fear and there was some uncertainty about what I should do, if I should do anything. Long, long story that I will not tell you now, but is documented somewhere, I think on Megan Roundtree's podcast, which I can link you to. Anyways, I had this very long kind of spiritual sort of thing that happened, me trying to figure out, what do I do about this? Scary thing, you know what's scary? Deciding to have a mastectomy when you don't have cancer. But after a lot of prayer and a lot of counsel and a lot of other things, that's what I decided to do. And I had a bilateral prophylactic mastectomy in December of 2016. And it's funny because before I made the decision to do that, there was a lot of fear, and what's funny is the fear was that I was going to make the wrong mistake. In retrospect, looking back at all of that, I can see that I couldn't have made the wrong mistake. I don't think there was a wrong mistake, I couldn't have made the wrong move. Like, I don't think there was a wrong move. I think I could have chosen to continue on the preventative path. I could have chosen to have a mastectomy, whatever. And I think it would have been right as long as I was being spirit-led, I think. But what happened was I found myself in this place of fear, and the fear was centered around uncertainty. Uncertainty in that I didn't know what I should do. And so I had this big kind of fear moving me back and forth. Which way do I go? What do I do? And I will tell you, when I got down to it and really spent a lot of time in prayer and a lot of time in counsel of others, but mostly in prayer, when it became clear to me that the decision for me was to have surgery, from that moment on, the fear was gone. And I don't know if I should say that was like a spiritual thing or a bigger thing than something, but from the moment that I made the decision that this is what I'm going to do, the fear went away. The fear went away. The same is true. I knew that I would eventually have my ovaries removed as well because they call ovarian cancer the deadly killer or the silent killer. There's no good preventative screening, none at all. And really every medical person really urged me, by 35, you probably need your ovaries out. And of course, they let us make that decision, and we did. And we decided that's what we were going to do. That's the surgery that I just had with my tubes and my ovaries removed. But what's funny is what I'm trying to tell you is there is something about action. There's something about a decision that can move fear away so quickly. But what I think we do in our lives, in our business, in everything is we sit and we stew in our thoughts and we don't take action and we don't move forward and we don't decide this is what I'm going to do. And what do? Then what happens to fear? It just continues to grow. It continues to grow. It continues to lie to you. It continues to tell you all the things you aren't and all the things you can't be and all the things you can't do. And the more you hear it, the more you believe it. Just because you are telling yourself in your mind over and over again, I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I'm scared, doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes the greatest thing we can do is decide that we're going to move forward. One of my all-time favorite quotes is action kills fear. Because it does. See, you as a human being, as a business owner, as a woman, as a wife, as a parent, whatever, as a sister, a daughter, you have the ability to take action over any part of your life at any time. You have the ability to take action. Doesn't mean that the action you're going to take is always going to be easy or not confrontational or not scary. No. Sometimes the thing that we're supposed to do the most is probably the scariest thing. But it doesn't mean that we can't do it. I want you to think about your business for a minute. I want you to think about the place that you would say, I'm struggling, or I really stalled out, or I'm kind of in this place where I'm where I'm at, but I'm not really moving forward, or I'm not making the progress in my business that I want to. I want you to think about that place. And I don't want you to automatically say, I don't have that place. I'm good. Everything's great. Things are growing. I want you to be very honest with yourself. Some of you would say, oh, I'm good. Like, things are good. But really be honest with yourself. Where's the place in your business that you're kind of stalled out? You know there should be better growth. You know things could look a little different. Where is that place for you? And then I want you to think for a second about how much or how little action you're taking in that area. And how much are you worrying about it? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about how I could do it better. I'm, sort of like trying to come up with a plan, but you're not taking action. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to identify that area. And maybe it is centered around something that you're scared to do, something that you're scared to step into. And I want you tonight, I want you to walk away with a next step. What's the next step for you in your business? The place that you're stalled out, the place that you know that there's more, the thing that you've been afraid to do. It's time to take action, because action kills fear. And what did I say in the beginning? That waiting for us on the other side of fear is our impact. And I know that's heavy. And I know the other things some of you are thinking. I'm not good enough to have impact. I'm not good enough to lead a team. What do I have to say? How would I do that? You know what that is? That's fear. That's fear lying to you, telling you you're not good at enough, making you believe that you should shrink down to those lies, when the reality is all you're supposed to do is step into action. Step into the thing that you're afraid of. I want to give you some practical ideas. You may be thinking, you're talking like really, really broad here. Like, what is it for me? I'm going to start listing some things that might be your next step. If you're in a place in your business where things aren't the way they should be, or you're not actually doing the things you say you're going to do, it's time to take action and go to the next place. Here's some next steps for you. Your next step could be hosting your own Scentsy party. You want to complain about how you don't have hosts or nobody wants to host for you? When's the last time you hosted? What's the fear around hosting? For a lot of you, it's who's going to come, who would care, do I actually have community around me that would support me? We live in this super connected world, but some of us are not fighting for actual community, for actual people in our close proximity to fight for us and fight with us and be with us. Maybe that's what you're afraid of. Because if I host for myself and nobody shows, what does that say about the community that I have? Do I have one? Maybe not. That's fear. How do we get past fear? We step into action. So maybe it's time. Maybe you need to host your own bingo party. Maybe you need to host your own sip and smell. Maybe you need to host your own Facebook Live party. I don't know what it is for you. I promise you it will come to you and that you will know what your next step needs to be. I see your head. I'm just ignoring her. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's you stepping into hosting so you know what it feels like to be a host, so you can experience what that community looks like. And if you don't have it, build it. Yes, my love.
Where's my Patsy?
I don't know. Is it in my bed?
I don't know where it is.
You don't know where it is.
I'm gonna go find in my bed.
Okay, go ask Addie.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
And then Daddy go get it.
You want Daddy to get it?
Yeah.
Well, go ask Daddy. Maybe you're afraid of going live because you have small people that live with you. And you think that they will sabotage whatever it is you're going to do. I want to tell you the story. I've told you this before. I watched this. You guys have seen those pearl parties, like the girls that push the pearls out of the oysters. All I can ever think about is how the room that they do that in must smell. Anyways, I watched this girl do it one time because I think it's hilarious. And her kids coming up from behind her. It's so funny. She was going like this. She was like, and so she's like talking to the camera and she's like, okay, this is a good one. It's like a size 5. This is beautiful. It's purple. Get I'm dying laughing. We can all see your kids and we can all see you like shooing them away. You guys, maybe it is you're afraid of going live because what if someone sabotages it? What if someone does something crazy? Because I know I have 4 crazy people that live with me, 5 if you include my husband. I don't know what they're going to do. You never know. But you can't let fear stop you from doing something that could change your business. You can't. Here's my other tip for going live. If that is a fear of yours, make a group that is secret. Put the person that you love the most in the world in it, like your husband, your best friend, whoever, one other person, and go live in it. Because I think you have to have another person in a group. They're the only person that's going to see it. And you can practice all you want. But then the thing is you have to move into action. Okay. So maybe your next step, and you know it, is that you need to start coaching your team. You're a director, or maybe you're just a star consultant, but you have a team and you know that they need something more. And the next step for you is doing a little bit of one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching doesn't have to be this huge thing. Coaching is such a scary sounding thing. It's not. 20 minutes on the phone, 20 minutes on FaceTime with somebody else to hold them accountable, to say, tell me what your parties are this month. Who are your hostesses? What are you working towards? How can I support you? What are you struggling with? I think we think that if we say that we're going to help coach somebody, that means we have all the answers. That's not what it is at all. It's that we're going to actively partner with our team and help coach them to the next level in their business. That's all it is. Maybe that's the next step for you. Maybe you need to do an event. Maybe it's a big event that you're scared crapless of. Like maybe it's like, I don't think, how am I ever going to do this big event? But maybe that's exactly the next step that you need to take. It's something you're scared of that you need to step into. And the things that can happen when you step into those places that you're fearful of are truly, they're not only business changing and they're not only change you personally, but they change you from the inside out. That's the thing, is like when we do the things we're scared of, we change in such a big, big way.
Daddy, honey, remember how my
Hey.
what?
Yeah.
Nothing my diaper.
Me?
No, I change my diaper.
You're going to change your diaper?
No, I can't change my diaper.
You can't? So we should pee on the potty.
I'm going to see my diaper.
So it's going to be 3 on Saturday. It's about time. Okay, go find your daddy. He'd love to change your diaper. Okay, good work. See? You guys. Oh, okay. What's next for you? Probably something you're scared of. Maybe it's a fundraiser. Maybe you've never done a fundraiser. Here's the thing. If you are stuck in your business, if things aren't going where you want them to, if you are stalled out, it's probably because it's time for you to step into something that you're scared of, something that you don't know about, something that you don't exactly know how to do, but it's time for you to learn. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for you to do something scary. There are a million good causes in your area, in my area, everywhere, right? That need funds. And you have an incredible fundraiser. You could do a buddy fundraiser. You could do a backpack clip fundraiser. You could do a Scent Circle fundraiser. You could do a whole catalog fundraiser. I don't care. There's a million videos on YouTube about how to do a fundraiser. You can do it. Learn how to do it. I don't have time. I don't want to hear the excuses. Listen, I know that doing something you've never done is scary. I know that you may not know how to do it. I also know that there are more than enough resources to show you how to do something that you do not know how to do, and that you, as a business owner, as a woman, or a man, can step into that thing and do it well. I don't know what the next thing is for you. It's time to step into something scary. What is your next step? Maybe it's maybe you need to come up with some kind of training program for your team. You've known that's what you need to do. You don't feel qualified. You're scared to do it. You don't think they'll listen, but you know that's what's next. Maybe that's what it is for you. Maybe it's time for you to get on the phone or start texting or send some mailers out and get people signed up for Scentsy Club or for Whiff Boxes. It's coming fast, and you can absolutely start talking about it and absolutely start getting people signed up right now. Maybe that's the next step. That's something you can start working on tonight, tomorrow. There's no reason that you can't do that. Here's my tip for you. If you're going to make a postcard that you're going to send out, or if you're going to send out a text, make sure that there's a call to action in it. A call to action is something that prompts your customer to get back to you. Maybe it's an incentive that you're offering for them to let you know if they want to or don't want to be involved in that program. But when you have a call to action, that helps drive forward that you expect a response from whatever it is you sent out into the world. Okay. What else is your next step? Maybe your next step is I'm looking at September and I have nothing on my calendar. It's time for you to do your own little booking blitz. It's time for you to sit down, figure out what the heck's going on in your life, set aside the dates that you want booked, and you get on the phone, or you start texting, or you get on Messenger, or however you communicate with people, and you start filling your calendar. Maybe you're scared of that because you think, what if I ask and everybody says no? So what? You're not going to know until you ask, are you? No. And if everybody says no to you, you need to go to somebody else and say, all right, everybody said no to me. What am I doing wrong? Because remember, your wording matters so much. The way that you say things, the way that you approach things, all those things matter. What is your next step? What's going to push you over? Maybe you need to really sit down and say, my time management sucks. I need to get honest with myself about the fact that I'm saying I'm doing all these things, but I'm not doing anything for my business. I need to create a power hour that I'm going to commit to 3 or 4 days a week. Or maybe I need to figure out some sort of time management system and actually be honest with myself. Maybe I need to get off social media for a while. And I know all of you, how do I do that? How do I do that? You can do it. There are other ways to communicate with people besides social media. I promise you. I spent 3 months this year off of social media. My business has never been stronger. You can. You absolutely can. Stop making excuses for things and fix the things that need to be fixed. The things that you're scared of, the things that you're fearful of, step into them. Take action over them. You have control over your business. You have control over your life. Fear has no place in your life. None. None at all. Except maybe to nudge you into the very next thing that you should be doing. If you're scared of it, it's probably something you need to step into. And when we decide to take action, when we decide to step into something, that is when the fear goes away. But thinking about it and worrying about it and constantly wrapping your brain around it isn't going to do anything. You have got to step into action. You have to. If you want your business to grow and change, you have to be willing to look at it and say, what's the thing that's scaring me right now? What's the thing that I don't feel qualified to do? That's where I'm going next. That's what I have to walk into. Whatever it is, if you're saying you're working your business and you're not, it's time to get it together. Listen, you don't need a one-on-one with somebody. You don't need somebody to sit down and make you a business plan. That is your responsibility. It's something that you have full knowledge of being able to do. If you're new, get help from your director. What should I be doing to get PRD? There's no reason. There's so many resources out there. We can't let fear stall out the growth of your business. You will grow and change, and your business will make more money when you step into the things that you are scared the most of. I promise you. Other things that you may need to take some next steps on. Some of this is personal stuff. Maybe you need to say you're sorry. Maybe you need to deal with something personally in your life. Maybe you need to be the person in your marriage to show love first. Maybe it's time that you showed respect. Maybe it's time that you forgave somebody. Maybe it's time that you sat down and spent the time that you say you want to spend with your kids, but that you don't. Maybe that's what it's time for. But you're scared. Because what if somebody doesn't react the way that you want them to? What if it doesn't come out the way that you think it should? You have to step into the thing that scares you. Because the fear is a smokescreen. As you step into it, you'll watch it fade away. Because the action is what will kill it, dissolve it in its path. Are we all perfect? Have we all made all the right choices? No. And that's partly where the fear comes from. Is us dealing with the mistakes that we've made, or the places we've let people down, or the places we've let ourselves down. But when we step into those places and attempt to make them right, that's when things begin to change. There is always, always, always a next step. And I will tell you from my experience that most often the next step is shrouded in fear. Because I really do believe that what's waiting for us on the other side of it is the impact we're supposed to have. That is really all I have for you tonight. I'm just so sick of fear. I'm so sick of it ruling people's lives. I'm so sick of mediocrity. I'm so sick of average. I think that you are meant to live a great life. I think you are meant to live a great legacy. And I think that you do that with intention. And I think that you do that by choosing to walk through the smokescreen of fear. And I think your business grows that way. And I think you grow that way. And I think stepping up to the action point and making a plan and then executing it is what dissolves the fear away. It's what grows us. It's what changes us. It's what changes our business. It's what changes other people's lives. Maybe it's that you've been so scared to say something to somebody about this opportunity that you know they would be incredible at, but you're afraid because you're selfish of what they might say. It doesn't matter what they say. What matters is that you bring it up. It's not your decision to make. You can't let fear hold you back from other people having the opportunity to grow their own business. I don't know what your next step is, but I'm praying and hoping that after this, you know exactly what it is. You know what the next step is. You know where you're scared, and you're going to walk into it. I love y'all. Thank you for joining us. I actually did 36 minutes, by the way.
Boom.
Now I have to go to bed.
She needs rest, y'all. That's why I was coming in here to check on her.
If nothing else, that was just my entire heart. I hope that's what you needed. I would love to hear what your next step is. I think it'd be very powerful for you to share it with somebody. And honestly, it could be a next step in your personal life. It could be a next step in your business, either way. But that thing that you're scared of, the thing that's holding you back, it's exactly where you're supposed to go. So, love y'all. Talk to you later.
Thanks for loving on my lady while she was getting better.
Yeah. Thanks for all the amazing cards. I will see you and talk to you next Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Bye. Oh, shoot. Too many ends.